Hey guys, what is up? I'm Milan and welcome once again back to my channel. My hair is looking a little bit crazy because I had one of those like headbands in because I was doing a fun little face mask. I tried out this really weird mask bar lavender peel off mask, but it was kind of like alginate, so it went all like really hard and just peeled off in bits. Kind of disgusting, kind of really satisfying, and kind of love it. You'll probably see it in the Instagram video to this look, but I never really do the masks on YouTube just because it's like, it's just another extra step that I don't really care about for doing on here. But it felt really, really good, and it low-key minimised my pores and made everything just soothe down a bit. I'm guessing that is from the lavender. First of all, I just want to say my skin is looking so much better. I've been on Accutane now for about 9 weeks, I think it is, and it's really starting to like bring down a bit of the scarring. Obviously there is still quite a bit, but nothing compared to how I began with Accutane, so I'm really happy with it so far. But anyway, for today's video I have quite a strange makeup idea today, which involves temporary tattoos. Yes, temporary tattoos that I will be sticking to my face and hopefully will be able to take off by the end of this. Not too sure how that's going to go, but basically there's this really cute brand in Superdrug, I think it is, called PaperSelf, and they create these amazing, really detailed, intricate tattoo designs. They recently reached out to me and sent me 3 different styles, and they are just so adorable. Like, look how cute these like sunflowers are. I'm absolutely obsessed with them, and I think they would look really cute in a makeup look. So for today's video I'm going to be going in with the butterfly ones. I have quite a nice little springtime look planned, and hopefully it all goes to plan. So if you want to watch me stick some temporary tattoos on my face and hope that they come off at the end, then keep on watching.
I haven't seen you in a while. I never thought you'd be so wild. Things are moving way too fast, why don't we slow?
So to start off the look, I obviously did the face mask before, and I have just primed and moisturised my face a little bit using the Colourpop 4th Ray Face Milk. So I'm nice and soft and supple. I didn't want to do anything too heavy with moisturiser just because I'm not too sure if the tattoos will really stick to that. So I kept it quite light, and I'm just sort of like waiting for it to sink in a little bit, and then I will go in with the tattoos. And luckily when I was a kid I grew up with temporary tattoos. My siblings and I used to always collect them from like ice cream packets. When I lived in Croatia you'd like get them in the like little ice cream boxes and everything, and in the summer we'd just like stick them all over ourselves. So I know how to use them, but I do know that they can be quite tricky and sometimes like peel off in the wrong places, completely not even stick to your face. So I'm a little bit worried because it's obviously like one shot and that's it. So I'm gonna try it off on this side first, just to like get the hang of it, and then I will try and do it again. That was actually really easy, and they stuck on so quickly. It took literally about 30 seconds. It didn't like peel off halfway through or anything, and they are so gorgeous and so delicate. I was slightly annoyed that I put them on under foundation instead of like over it, just because I feel like you can't see the colours or anything. On camera you actually can quite a lot, but in person I don't really know. But I still think it might mess up over the foundation, so I'm just going to do it, and this sort of it gives me the chance to experiment with some lighter makeup, just doing a little bit more sort of like editorial instead of full face glam. So I'm actually quite excited to try this whole sort of look out. So I'm going to do this side now, and the one slightly irritating thing about these is that even though there are 2 packets, they're both the same sort of angles, like the flowers still lean in the same way. So because I have these sort of like going up, I am hoping that they go up this way too instead of like poking out the wrong way. That's the one little thing that I was slightly concerned about. Like these two I don't really know if they're going to be able to replicate on this side, but we're going to try it out anyway. So all you have to do is have just a nice clean skin. I have got a bit of moisturiser on, but it hasn't affected anything with the tattoos. And on the tattoos, I've cut them out just to around the shape that I need. And then they have this like film over it that you just peel off, and it does stick to your skin because it's one of those really annoying plastics that just doesn't let go. And then you literally just put it on your face and put like a wet towel on it for about 30 seconds and then gently remove it.
Moving just like we used to. Baby, it's time to let loose now. Step back, deep breaths now before things get out of control. I hope you really like me. I want it to be you and me.
I'm so happy with how those turned out. They are so cute and they're really detailed too, which is really impressive for temporary tattoos because all the ones that I'm used to are just like little cartoons or just not so amazing. But these are probably the most detailed and realistic tattoos I've ever used or seen before. So I'm loving how they look. They don't feel too bad either on the face. I know obviously not everyone is going to be putting temporary tattoos on their face, but if you are, they don't feel too bad. Like I can feel something on my face, but it's not heavy and it's not uncomfortable or anything. Also, it hasn't irritated my skin at all. I do have a kind of like sensitive skin, especially being on Accutane now, but it's not burning, it's not itching. It just feels like a tiny little layer on my face. So that's for all you sensitive skin people out there just like me. Now comes the pretty tricky part, which is going to be the base makeup. And obviously to start off, I'm going to go in with foundation using my absolute favourite, which is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous foundation in the shade 210N. So for this area, I'm going in with the Give Face Cosmetics brush. And this is quite a round, flat brush, but it has a nice angle to it. And this has actually become one of my favourite foundation brushes because it has quite a wide surface area and it blends everything in really nicely. And then when it comes to it just around the tattoos, I'm just lightly blending it up, but there's not much coverage, so I'm going to go in with the eyeshadow brush and just smooth it out a little bit. I did sort of have this whole idea for this look to be super editorial, clean and chic, so I'm gonna try being the main word here, to not overdo it with sort of like contour and blush and everything, just because I want it to be super just light, spring, summer, cover of Vogue, worldwide, you know, all of that good stuff. So I'm going to have it super dewy, just really relaxed and fun. And this foundation is actually probably the best for that because it is super dewy and it just gives me such like model vibes, like any sort of like model look you see or any Vogue photo shoot you see. I just feel like this is the kind of foundation that is used, especially for like a slightly more full coverage than like MAC face and body. And then I'm just going in with whatever is left on the back of my hand, and I'm going in with the Spectrum B06, and I'm just really lightly tapping that onto the edges of the tattoos. So I'm just really gently trying to fill in the gaps. This is probably like the lightest layer of foundation I've ever worn on Instagram. Usually, you know, I'm into my full beat glam, so this is very different to the normal Milan looks. I'm actually kind of loving it. Like, obviously you can see some of my texture and my scarring, but to be honest, I don't care too much. I think it looks really just fresh and natural. I'm going to do the same sort of thing with the concealer. I'm just going to put it on the back of my hand and I'm going to mix the two shades that I usually use instead of putting one on and then the other one. And I'm going to go in with that same Spectrum brush just to lightly pat under my eyes and just give it a little bit more of a highlighted look. Now that the concealer is all on, I'm just going to go in and bronze up the skin a little bit using my trusty Huda Beauty TanTour in the shade Light. And this contour has really become one of my absolute favourite products. It is a little bit more on the pricey side, but honestly I haven't found a contour, a cream contour especially, that has blended in this nicely and this sort of like effortlessly, and it really just melts into the skin and like it's just so seamless. and it looks so natural. So I would definitely recommend it to you guys. So if you do have the money and you're looking for something which is definitely going to work for you, I would recommend it, but if not, obviously there are lots of different alternatives. I just really lightly toasted up the edges of the bronzer with a little bit more of a powder bronzer. I didn't set anything. I'm just going to use sort of like my powders to set it instead of going in with translucent powder, just so that I get that really skin-like glow and finish. And if I need to, I will powder just a little bit so it doesn't look oily instead of glowy. And to bring back a little bit more colour to the skin, I'm going to go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio in the shade Peachy Love. And just taking all three colours on a Morphe R14 brush, I'm just going to lightly dab that over the tattoos and over the cheeks. And because it is quite a peachy blush and the tattoos are quite red toned, it's not gonna hide them too much. If anything, it'll bring a little bit of colour to them again. For the glow, I'm gonna go in with the Morphe High Impact Highlighter in the shade Spark, and of course you can use my code GLAMFAM669 off of any Morphe products to save $5. And because there isn't any powder on the skin, this is just gonna stick so much nicer to the foundation and just really pop. Okay, so now that the whole base is pretty much done, we are looking super glowy and just gorgeous and spring-like everything. I'm gonna move on to the brows and eyes, and again I'm just keeping it so clean and fresh. I think I'm just gonna go with yellow all over the lid, kind of coming down into the blush. Nothing over the top. I want this to be just so gorgeous and you know them vibes. I'm not going to keep talking about what I want it to look like because I've said it about 100,000 times now. But anyway, I'm going to go do this eye off camera and I'll be right back. So like I said, I just came up with a really cute soft editorial look, just using pretty much 2 of the shades in the palette. And for the palette, I did go in with the ABH Alyssa Edwards palette, and I just used the shades Brick Road and The Supreme. This is, once again, probably the most simple look I've ever done. It's super light on the face, and now it's super easy to follow on the eye. So all I did was I primed my eye using the same concealer that I used on my face, and I didn't carve out my brow or anything because I think that's just a little bit too harsh for what I'm going for. And then I just took the shade Brick Road and I'm just patting that all over the lid. And then just going in with a nice big fluffy Morphe M441 brush, I'm just diffusing that yellow and just bringing it up a little bit higher. And to start bringing out the yellow, I'm going in with a Spectrum A30 brush, and this is just a nice big fluffy blending brush which will just really diffuse the product but also bring it down a bit more. And going back in with that Morphe brush, I'm taking the shade Supreme and just blending that onto the outer corner and down into the blush, so it acts more as the blush tone instead of the yellow. And combining a bit of an orangey peach shade into the yellow, it gives the look a little bit more dimension instead of just having a solid yellow all around the eyes and the cheeks. And of course, to get a really nice fluttery eye, I'm going to go in with my absolute favourites, Tatty Lashes in the style TL4. Moving on to the lips, I just want to keep it super light and plump, so I'm just going to go in with a brown lip liner just to outline them a little bit, maybe overline them a little bit too, and then I'm going to go in with my absolute favourite gloss of all time, which is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics gloss in the shade I'm the Boss. And the reason this is my absolute favourite is because the colour is pretty much a perfect match to my lips. It's a nice peachy but not too pink lip gloss. Pink really doesn't really suit my skin tone at all, but peach I think really does. So I absolutely love this, and the quality of it and like the texture, it's not a sticky gloss at all, but it gives a super high shine and it's quite a thin consistency. And I'm going in with, this is also like my favourite lip liner too. This is the Melkior Professional lip liner in the shade Brown. I got this in like a goodie bag at some event, and it is my absolute favourite lip liner. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's quite a nice brown, but it's not too dark for me or anything, and it just gives a really nice colour to my lips. And then I'm just going to go straight over with the Jeffree gloss. And what I really like is that it's not fully opaque too. It's quite a clear sort of gloss, but it does give that little bit of colour. I'm just going to go add a few finishing touches to really make it a Milan signature look, and I will once again be right back. And there we go, we are back with the final gorgeous product. I am really loving how this came out. It's kind of just it's just a happy look. I'm really just loving it, and it's them good vibes. So as always, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and go check out my others, TikTok and Instagram, for some other behind the scenes looks and videos. And I will see you guys in the next one.